Hey guys, it's Katie Taylor, and I am joining the Close to My Heart Twisted Sisters to bring you a YouTube hop where we take a brand new product from the May-June 2022 catalog and twist it to show you a different way to use it. Today's video is all about twisting one of the brand new products, and I have chose the Front Porch Sittin stamp set in thin cut. Mainly I'm going to be working with this little lime right here. It's a thin cut. And then I will also kind of just sprinkle in some of these sentiments and some of these icons, but those won't necessarily be twisted. I have brought in a free pattern. I'll leave a link down below. This is the Tinkering pattern. And this is from one of our older how-to books. If you're not familiar with Close to My Heart how-to books, I just absolutely love them. Not only does it show you the layout, but then it walks you through what you should be cutting. So I'm going to use this pretty much exactly as it's intended to cut these papers. Now these papers are from the Tutti Frutti. And then I've also pulled out one of the mix-in collections, and I just love how well it goes with this. Now, as far as my photos, it's gonna kind of be a stretch here. These are some photos from a couple of years ago. We went to my sister's, and the reason a stretch is my mother's shirt is red. I usually don't have a problem changing the colors of my photos to match my papers, but my mother wears red a lot, and so I wanted to keep that little tidbit about her intact in these photos. So you are going to see some pops of red. Also, my sister has chickens, and so our daughter fell in love with this chicken or rooster or whatever it is. And so I'm going to include these two photos on there as well, but I think it's going to work out because of the red right here, and then the red in my mom's photos. So let me clear my table right quick, and then we can get started. So I have cut strips of coordinating cardstock, and basically I have used the light side of the grape, the lemonade, and the mint, but I'm using the dark side of the flamingo, and the reason being is because of our photos. So that light side of that grape almost matches my shirt, and then the dark side of the flamingo almost matches my brother's shirt. What I'm going to do with these strips is I'm going to take, remember that full slice of lime or lemon from the Front Porch Sittin stamp set in thin cut. I'm going to take it and I'm just going to cut a whole bunch of circles, and those are going to serve as little border and embellishment clusters for my layout. So I'm going to do that right quick, and then we should be able to come back and get started. I am going to include the little jar drink from the Front Porch Sittin. So I have a piece of vellum. I have a piece of the pattern paper. Now granted, you know, you don't really have all these little icons in your lemonade, but I wanted to just add this fun little piece to this jar. And then I have one of our adhesive sheets. Now our adhesive sheets come in 12 by 12, but I've just, that was scraps in there. So I'm going to cut this and I'm going to back it with an adhesive sheet. You know, vellum is really hard to glue down without you seeing the adhesive. So I'm hoping by going ahead and having the entire thing adhesive, it's going to make it a lot easier. So I'm just going to peel back one of these corners, if I can. I'm going to peel back one of the corners, and then this is, our adhesive sheets basically have adhesive on both sides, and so you peel back one and you stick it to your paper, in this case my vellum, and I'll leave the backing on the other side, and then I will cut it, and then I won't actually take the backing off the back side until I'm ready to lay it on my project. So I am going to peel this back and just attach that vellum. Don't really want to take it all off because I'm going to have to trim it. So now we've got that adhesive backed vellum, and I'm going to go run it through my die cut machine, and then I'm also going to run that through my die cut machine as well. So you can see here I have the two pieces. Again, this is backed with the adhesive, and then we have this. And I just want to tear this, you know, and make it look like it's not really, you know, your glass is half full, basically. So we have that, and then I am going to take the backing. I think right now I'm just going to take the backing off the back side at the bottom, and then adhere this down, and then I'm going to leave it on until I'm ready to actually put it on my project. So we have that, and then I'm going to stamp that cute little straw and get it cut out, and that will also go in there. To prepare the base pages, I'm going to bring out my Versamat and a white sheet of 12 by 12 white daisy cardstock. And then I have already rounded the corners of this piece of pattern paper from the Tutti Frutti. So I'm going to adhere this down to this white daisy piece of cardstock right quick. This is where the Versamat comes in handy, because this piece of pattern paper is cut to 11 by 11, and so there should be about 1/2 inch all the way around. I'm just going to eyeball it instead of bringing out my T-ruler, and I think that is pretty good. Now there's definitely a pattern on this polka dot. I don't know if you can see it, but I am using it where the lines are vertical. And then I am going to, again, that red is kind of bothering me, so I'm going to use candy apple ink and my block to add some splatters. Now if you recall, I did this technique on my wild berry layout as well. It's just a real fun technique, and I'm actually liking the control of it. So you put the ink onto your block, and then I'm just going to take a spray bottle and spray this off of my project. And then you just flick the colors onto your project directly from your block. And you can do it as little or as much as you want. So I like that. Now a lot of the midsection is going to be hidden, and so I think we're good with that. And then it just makes for easy cleanup as well. We are going to start working on this left side, and I'm going to bring out my Versamat again, because there is a piece of pattern paper that goes all the way across, and I just want to make sure that it is straight. So I've got my piece, my background piece, my prepared with those gorgeous candy apple splatters, and I am going to adhere this piece down toward the bottom. Now I did sponge all the way around these pieces, even this piece that's already down onto my white daisy cardstock, and I'm going to put this about 2 inches from the bottom, and this one is also cut to 11 inches. And there we go. Now remember, this left side is going to have these photos of my sister's chickens, roosters. Before I do that, this is hanging off just ever so slightly. So I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and just try to cut through that one layer of paper. I'm using a steel ruler, and again, you just have to lightly cut a couple of times, and that way it won't go through your base cardstock. It only goes through that pattern paper, but not very much. And you can see there where it's separated. And then just clean up this little bitty edge right down here, and then we are good to go. Before I glue down these photos, I am going to bring in that right side of my layout, and this one has several 5 by 3.5 photos. So this is where the people come into play, and these go right along that 2 inch as well, and these actually get put flush with each other. So I have also inked up with Capri ink all the way around the edges of my white daisy mat. So the white daisy is the measurement of the 5 by 3.5, and then I just put my photos, I just cut my photos 1/8 of an inch smaller, and they actually go all the way to this left side. So I'm going to get those glued down. Before I glue these down, I wanted to bring in, again, to kind of make that red look like it belongs with these papers, I have cut a piece of the Fresh Paint pattern paper, and I just love that it has a whole lot of the same colors. But, so I'm not stuck trying to trim it as well. I want to put it down first. And so it measures 1 by 7. So I'm just going to line it up again, the bottom at that 2-inch mark, and then 7. And then I am going to glue these photos down. And in case they need to overlap this just a little bit, which it looks like it does, then we're good to go. Now it's time to show you where the little slices come into play. Now these were meant to, of course, be lemon or lime slices, and the thin cut actually cuts a slice down the middle, and then that way it can sit on your glass like that. So what I'm going to do with these is I'm actually going to create several little, I'm going to call them pie charts. I really don't know what they're called, but by twisting this around different ways, because it just keeps twisting, you are left with different pie charts. So I'm going to create some of these in various colors, and then those will kind of be the scallops at the bottom. If you recall, that sketch has scallops at the bottom. I'm not going to go all the way across. I'm just going to make these little embellishment clusters and then add more stickers and either wooden shapes or acrylic shapes. Before I decide where to put those little pie things, I want to just grab some stickers off of this Tutti Frutti sticker sheet that I might be using as subtitles. Just in case I want to use those little pie circles as kind of like clusters behind these titles. So good times, this is real life, amazing, this is happiness, summer fun. Look at this. I might do look at this. And then life is, so I'm thinking I'm going to do life is, and then that stamp set has front porch Sittin. I think I'm going to change it to back porch Sittin. And I don't think I want anything else on the sticker sheet. I may come back in for the hearts. You can see that this sticker sheet has that UV coating, which I love. It's just such a fun element on cards. On layouts. Well, and cards. So I've got that, and then just going to, again, take the sticky off of these and apply 3D foam tape to the back of them. And then I can kind of see if those pie circles are going to fit really well, kind of as an embellishment behind these. I am getting ready where I'm going to start stamping on my layout, but I want to do a little test run. In this front porch Sittin stamp set, there are a couple of little swags right here. I really want to use this one, but I want to make sure, I don't want to do a whole lot of fussy cutting. So I'm just going to take a scratch piece of that Capri polka dot paper, and I'm thinking I want to use the grape ink. It's dark enough that I think it'll show up. So all you do in this instance is just grab a scratch piece of paper and cut it, stamp on it, and then you can see how well it's going to show up. And so yes, definitely liking that. So I'm going to pull out the right layout first. Again, open this back up, and I'm going to stamp this in this top right corner. I'm gonna make sure my block doesn't have anything on it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do it there or down there. I think I'll do it here again. And I'm just going to go from edge to edge of this Capri ink. That way there's none in the white daisy part. And then I'm going to ink it up again, and I'm going to do the same, kind of make them overlapping. So I think I'm ready to go ahead and put down my little mason jar. And so you saw where I just peeled that backing off, and I think I want my straw kind of tilted this way. And I want it pretty proportionate, so I don't want it sticking out too much. And then I'm going to add some liquid adhesive to the back of it and the back of that other pattern paper that I use basically to signify the drink. And then we can go ahead and adhere that down, and you won't be able to see any of the adhesive behind the vellum. Now I did, after I stamped this mason jar, I did heat set it with my heat gun. You want to make sure you do that no matter what ink you're using, just to make sure that it is nice and dry. And you can see I'm rubbing all over that and it is not smearing. So we've got that, and then remember I had one of the stickers that says Life Is. And so I want to do Life Is, and then there is this front porch Sittin. Now we're on the back porch, so I actually want to use some washi tape to mask off front, the word front. So there are a couple of ways that you can mask stamps. If they haven't been inked up yet, I like to just add some washi tape, or this is the tape that I use to make sure my thin cuts are taped down to my cutting mat. You just cover that part of the stamp that you don't want to show, and then you put it into your ink, and then all you have to do is rip this off and it is not inked up. And then I can put it right here. And I'm actually going to just add some handwriting for the back porch of that. So again, with my scratch piece that I did the stamping on, I have our purple pen, and I just want to see how close the purples are, because, you know, that's what I'm going to use to write the word back. While I am trying these pens out, I thought it would be a perfect opportunity to remind you to hit that like button if you're liking what you are seeing. Now, usually on my channel, I try to stick to one-page layouts because of time constraints. So I want to thank you so much for hanging out this long for this two-page layout. So it's not perfect, but it'll work. And then I'm going to take the 3D foam tape off the back of this one. And I want it to end about, I want it to be left justified with that stamp. So Life Is back porch sittin'. So now it is time to adhere my little pie charts, or whatever we're calling these. I do not want them to look like Pac-Man, so when I place them down, I want to make sure that we don't have that going on. So I'm going to place this one right here. And then my goal is to use 3 down here with some more stickers, and then use some on that right layout. Again, when you have two-page layouts, it's important that both sides have a little bit of the other on them, simply because it just makes it look like they belong together versus, you know, two just pages side by side. Now, you may ask what these actually signify on this layout, and they signify nothing other than embellishments and a landing page for stickers. So I really want, look at this. And then up here, I think I'm going to put This Is Real Life, and I'm going to anchor it with probably this circle. And then just peel the backing off of 3D foam tape. and have this is real life. And then we can bring out that right page and add some circles to it. So I turn that around so the majority of this mint color will be hidden, so I'll have a pop of yellow. I've got quite a bit of yellow on that other side, so I need to make sure that that's going to show. So then I have the pink and yellow, so I need to bring purple in. I have pink on here, so I actually think I'm going to change this to where the majority of it is purple. So on that other side, I actually had one of the circles overlapping my photo, so I'm going to do the same here. And then Love This So Much can go right there. So the next thing, and the last I want to add, is the Tutti Frutti shapes. There are little hearts in here, and so I just want to put those on the back of some glue dots and get those adhered down around these little clusters. So let's just take a quick look at the finished layout. So again, I twisted the thin cuts that came with the Front Porch Sittin stamp set, and you can see I brought those circles over to this side as well. And actually, I think the addition of my candy apple splatters and the addition of my fresh paint pattern paper actually makes the red look like it's okay, in my opinion. So I am extremely happy. I did add that Front Porch Sittin had happy birthday in it as well, and since we're celebrating my mother's birthday, I did add that off camera. But other than that, you guys saw it all come together. I will leave links down below to all the other Close to My Heart makers who are playing along with the Twisted Sisters YouTube Hop this month. Again, we are twisting new products from the May and June 2022 catalog, which is now live on my website. I'll leave links down to all the products that I used. And as always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching. If you liked what you saw, leave me a comment and a thumbs up. It helps YouTube show you more of the same, and of course it helps my little channel out. And if you aren't already a subscriber, hit that subscribe button and sign up for notifications so you won't miss another crafty video. Thanks, and have a wonderful week.